We've nailed 2 of our objectives.
Yes.
Which was the 16th notes, talking about them, playing them.
Yes.
Understanding them.
Yes.
And our single stroke rolls, incorporating those.
That's correct.
Third objective.
Third objective is to introduce simple fills around the kit. So what we've done so far through the course is we've looked at playing grooves.
Yes.
And then we've looked at note values with the aid of single stroke rolls. What I now want to do is look at grooves and fills.
Okay, what's the difference between them?
Okay, good question. A groove is fundamentally when you're playing time of the music in the style of the music. So, you know, we're playing in rock music, pop music at the moment. This is the main body of music where you're playing the groove, the time of the music, holding the beat together. So typically it's bass drum, snare drum, hi-hat involved.
Like we've been learning in the past few episodes.
Exactly, and we'll continue to do so. But there are other things to play. I mean, as I've said earlier, the drumming is really made up of grooves and fills. So we need to have a look at fills, because where they are different to the grooves is they are musical expressions that we use and that enhance the music. So quite often it will be, say, to create impact, to create excitement, sort of a flourish, and in musical terms they're often used to denote changes in mood within the music. So it may be getting exciting, going into a chorus, lifting it, arousing, or dropping back down into verses, and so on and so forth. Okay. So that's when we would use fills.
So they're like the icing, the icing on your drumming cake.
Well, to some extent, yes, that could be said as true. Yes, yes. Splendid.
I like that expression.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at developing some simple fills. But again, we're going to reinforce previous learning. We're going to incorporate a groove in front of each of the fills, firstly. Right. So we've already done that, so we should be reasonably competent.
Are we going to carry on with the groove that we're familiar with?
Yes, we're going to stick with Rock Groove 1 from Lesson 1 to begin with. But you can put any groove in that particular bar. And then we're going to introduce quarter notes, eighth notes and 16th notes, using single stroke rolls around the kit to create a fill. So we're bringing everything together. So all of the information that we've learned previously, we're bundling up into our playing. So the whole idea is we're not missing any gaps here, not creating any gaps in the way we're learning and moving forward.
It's the Gigajam structured pathway.
Yeah, very structured. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Let's take that first step on that pathway.
Okay, great stuff. So let's have a look at the first groove and fill that we've got, which we've got in video form here, which I'm going to bring up, and then I'm going to play it, and I'll talk about how the notation on the musical stave relates to the drum kit.
Okay.
Here's the groove. Right, simple quarter note fill around the kit, noting that I'm starting with my right hand on the snare drum, left on the high tom, right on the mid tom, left on the floor tom. So let me show that in more detail now.
All right.
So when we're playing the fill, we're playing the snare drum, then we move to the high tom with the left hand.
Yeah.
So avoiding our crossover here, right hand to the mid tom, and the left hand coming down here.
Keeping the sticks very separate from one another.
Absolutely, which means that we can then return here freely. So if I just put that together, I'll play it around the kit once more, slightly more fluently perhaps. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is one bar of fill.
Right, left.
Right, left. Exactly. So we're using our single stroke roll and we're using quarter notes, all the things that we've learnt previously. So if I now put a bar of groove in front of that, we'll take our rock groove from Lesson 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is when I now play my fill, which would go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we come back here to our groove. So the ability to link groove and fill is essential, and to make it as seamless as possible. So what I'll just do is I'll play a few bars of groove, fill, groove, fill. Okay, here we go. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sense?
It does make sense, yes. What I notice is obviously I may have a tendency, and maybe some people that are practicing at home may have the tendency to almost stop and think, oh, where am I going now?
Right, good. So the best way to combat that is to actually play with some music, so it keeps your tempo steady. So you've got to keep moving forward. Fluency is one of the most essential parts of a musician's playing. That ability to keep the time going, equal gaps between beats, moving from groove, moving to fill, out of fill, back to groove. Really, really important. I know that some of this stuff may look a little simple. It is simple, but it doesn't make it easy. And that's a huge distinction that we have to make there. So why don't we just try our exercise here, which we've got up on our screen. Play with the music to get the flow together.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sense?
Yeah, I can see it so much better now and hear it so much better now with the music.
Great.
Because you're really hearing the distinction between it.
It's really important to play along with music. It gives you that platform and the relevance of why you're putting these two pieces of technique together. Because the purpose, of course, with any technique that you're learning, any skill or any knowledge, is to actually put it into practice by playing with music. Normally the music that we love.
Okay. With that backing track that you had there, obviously practice it at maybe the slowest speed.
Yes.
Get fluent with it, absolutely.
Yes.
Speed it up a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you become proficient, move the tempos up. Yeah, and as you become more and more comfortable, those tempos will become easier. But don't play at a tempo where you're falling over. Yeah. Because then you lose all fluency. Play at tempos that enables you to maintain your fluency.
Do you have to get to a level of perfection before you boost it up?
No, never wait for perfection, because it will never come. I mean, perfection doesn't come by its nature. You strive for it, but you don't wait for it. And it's important that once you're comfortable and you've reached a reasonable standard, move on, because in the studies that you carry on, you'll be using the skills that you've been working at, so they innately will improve behind it. And you'll find that when you then go back to revise your studies, which all good musicians do all the time, you'll find that they're easier. They're suddenly easier. Well, they're not suddenly easier. You've been working on them, but you didn't realise. Yeah. Can I introduce eighth notes to you quickly?
Oh, why not, eh?
So it's the same, absolutely same principle going round the kit, and I'll just play along to the exercise here. So it's a bar of groove, same groove. Then this time we're playing eighth notes. So it's 2 notes on each drum. I'll demonstrate that before we play with the music.
Definitely.
So what you will be doing here is you'll be playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Make sense?
Yeah.
And then a groove in front of that. Great. Let's get the music going. Four. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay.
Very good. I'm guessing what's coming next is the 16th.
Well, it's the 16th note. Let's go straight for it. So what I'm going to do is exactly the same exercise, but what we're going to do this time is, instead of playing eighth notes or quarter notes, we're superimposing eighth notes in that second bar. Yeah. So let's get the music up and then play along with it. Firstly, I'll just demonstrate the 16th notes.
Yeah.
Now, you may want to play this exercise a little bit slower because, of course, you've got a lot more notes to get in, but I'll play it here. So 4 notes on each drum, again using single stroke roll. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, it's going to be a bit of a rush to start with, so it's probably worth just practicing that a few times. Once you're comfortable with it, let's go for it. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, making sense?
I think you handled that brilliantly.
You're very kind.
But obviously, people that are out learning, starting off, haven't got your 25 years of experience.
Thank you for that.
Sorry, was not supposed to mention that. Take it easy.
Yes.
Start with one of your slower Nirvana ballads, for example.
As you do. Yeah, well, certainly find some slow music from your collection. You're going to have some in there somewhere. It can be difficult with some of the rock stuff, but you're going to have to play something that's slow to get your 16th notes. And you've got a lot of notes to get in there. Indeed.
Something that isn't slow is this music.
In no way.
I'm going to be watching out for those fills that you're going to be slipping in there.
I'll try my best.
All right. It remains for me to say to you that is the end of episode 3, but join us again for episode 4 coming very shortly, and keep watching to find out how you can get hold of your very own Gigajam course notes. See you next time.